name is, I'm not gonna say my name legally. I'm just saying I'm Bernardo Goya. I guess I'm a filmmaker. You know, I make art. I like art. I'm not a filmmaker. I'm an artist. So, you know, but that's a part-time thing. You know, that doesn't pay the bills. So I just do this for fun. So I use art personally for me. I use it as more of like a therapy, you know, because I normally don't believe in therapy, like controversially. I don't believe in it. Some people say like my art's like experimental. And yeah, I could see that. I could see it being experimental, but you know, I just normally just throw, I personally think I just throw stuff at the wall, see what sticks. See, I normally try to like emulate, you know, the things that I like, the things that I've been watching. So anything that I consume, like, you know, it bleeds into my art. You know, some people will be like, oh, you know, you're borrowing your influences. You know, some people say, oh, yeah, you're stealing your stuff. You know, I sometimes if I have enough money, I just be stealing like other people's ideas and stuff like that. You know, that's the majority of like what I do when I set out to make something. It's like I could do that. I could figure it out. You know, and you're just guessing along the way. You know, and you're just thinking on the seat of your feet. So not becoming a filmmaker or an artist, like if I wasn't doing this, I'd either be a priest or a funeral director. That's legit. And then I don't know why I stopped going to school for funeral directing, but I think I'm like, because I've been to like a couple of the retreats, I've been like this close to becoming a priest. So we were originally supposed to film this in the Immaculate Church in the Basilica, but they closed. And the reason why I wanted to film over there is because, you know, they have nice, beautiful stained glass windows, and like, you know, I like the first time I ever got into filmmaking, I got through, you know, with Martin Scorsese, like with most people. Like I could really relate with him because he was also like this close to becoming a priest, and then he eventually moved into movie making and stuff like that because he got into a bunch of fights and stuff. And you know, I feel like, you know, like spiritually, like that's who I kind of connect with. You know, that's like, you know, as like a filmmaking influence. Like he has this really good series, like that's better than any film school, called Personal Journey Through American Cinema, and it's really good to get. He talks about like different types of movies from the 50s to the 60s and a little bit of the 40s. No, he talks about from the 40s to the 60s, like through its golden age, and it's a real nice like lesson in filmmaking. You know, like that's what you should watch if you want to get into filmmaking. Watch A Personal Journey Through American Movies with Martin Scorsese. It's a nice like little intro. You know, nice list to go through. What's that? HBO? Oh yeah, this was a really good movie. This is one with Jimmy Cliff. They're doing like a Jamaican gangster story, and it was really cool. I watched this, like it was on the Criterion channel, but I think I might get this one because this is a really cool movie. Roger Corman, there's a good documentary. Yeah, I'm a Filipino, and they did this whole documentary about him and a bunch of other people going down to the Philippines, just shooting movies, and they keep on doing a bunch of crazy stuff in that little area. I think they stopped during like the 80s or something. I think the documentary is called what's that, Machete Maidens in Blood or something like that. But it talks about the exploitation like in the 70s and stuff like that with Filipino cinema. And I think that's really interesting because if you go look into that country, like with Filipino cinema and stuff like that, you mostly see like romance movies and stuff like that, which is alright, but like this is not talked about as much as the romance movie. Or maybe I might be like living under a rock or something.